You say I make you nervous, a tragedy, I'm a beautiful disaster, a reckoning, you wonder how I got this way. You think I'm someone to be saved, someone to clean up and tame. Oh, some things never change, never change. You think I would look pretty on your arm once you cover up my bruises and battle scars, but it always ends the same. Can't bear the things I've had to face, got you crying on your knees in pain. Oh, some things never change, never change. You'll break your back to make me feel again, suffocate to make me breathe again, lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Redemption never came. I stopped asking for forgiveness, cause you should know only fools tread where the angels fear to go, but you keep trying to get too close. Save myself by turning into stone, so save your judgment cause you just don't know. But some things never change, never change. They say I should feel guilty and change my ways, leaving crumpled bodies in my wake. Swear I didn't mean to make them break, swear I didn't mean to make them break. But they're so delicate and so mundane, and they keep coming like a moth to a flame. Oh, some things never change, never change. You'll break your back to make me feel again, suffocate to make me breathe again, lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Redemption never came.
Hello?
Hello,
Hello? Hello? Okay.
can you hear me?
I can.
How are you doing, Steph?
I am tired.
You're tired.
How are you doing? I'm tired.
Um,
Like, not like emotionally tired, like sleepy.
I mean, that's me all the time.
Yeah.
Hi, Chalkar, welcome in. Did something weird happen that you're like? Are you always tired, or is this unusual for you?
I had um a conference in the end of April, and that really tired me out. And then there were like medical and vehicle stuff. And then I also had to do a presentation today. And so there's just been a lot going on. I don't think I slept very well. And so I'm like just literally tired.
Yeah. Um,
Like just lack of sleep, lack of downtime, that sort of thing.
my sleep schedule got messed up very specifically this morning slash last night, I guess.
Oh no. How?
I went to sleep at 7 a.m. and woke up at 1 p.m.
What? Why? No, don't do that.
Because sometimes my sleep schedule gets messed up.
You say that very passively.
Yeah, things just
It
happen
just
to me.
it just happens to you. All right.
Me, the innocent victim here.
Yeah, all
He's
right.
minding
That
my
makes
own
sense.
business, and then wham, it
Yeah.
happens. And like,
Oh
wow,
no.
why? How could I have foreseen the
How
consequences?
could that?
Are you able to see my
No.
screen?
Does it say Warudo?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get through some TikToks.
Does it have little cat ears
The
on the O?
character, yes. Oh, on the O, yes,
Okay.
also.
Okay.
This apparently the Ukrainian military is using gamification to motivate their soldiers, and it's working well, apparently.
Oh wow.
Although it could be propaganda, who knows?
Oh.
But anyway, let me get the video.
So Ukraine has gamified drone strikes, which is pretty morbid, but also seems to be pretty effective and smart in how they're doing this. So as it sits right now, killing a Russian soldier with a drone is 6 points, up from 2 earlier. More on that in a second. Damaging a Russian tank is 20 points. Destroying a Russian tank is 40, and destroying a multiple launch rocket system is 50 points. Now, in terms of how this is going so far, and it's been a program in place for quite a while, any Ukrainian drone unit can participate. The Minister of Digital Transformation said a month ago, said, hey, instead of 2 points for Russian infantry, let's make it 6. It doubled the number of Russian soldiers that were killed in drone strikes that month. It's incentivizing the soldiers. It's driving competition between Ukrainian units wanting to stay atop a publicly available leaderboard. And the way this works is as part of the Army of Drones program that Ukraine set up. And they take these points that they accumulate as a unit and they can use it in something called the Brave One market. And those points go towards purchasing drones, equipment, electronic warfare, jammers, anti-drone guns, different types of munitions, whatever is most effective for that unit. And what this is doing is a couple things. First off, driving competition between units. It allows Ukraine to prioritize certain types of targets for more points, right? Too much artillery fire going on out there. Let's prioritize even more knocking out artillery pieces. But it's allowed, it's forced the units to document all of their kills, incredible battlefield intelligence for Ukraine, and it allows the units at the very tip of the spear to purchase the equipment directly from the manufacturer. This is not being sourced by the government pays for it, but the marketplace makes it available from the manufacturer direct to the consumer, the end user, the drone pilot. So depending on the unit and where they are in the front, they might only need fiber optic drones or only need Baba Yaga bombers or only need electronic warfare jammers or certain types of cables they've found to be better use. So the Brave One market allows the soldier, the frontline unit, to say, we want that type of drone and not that. And they accumulate points by killing Russians to get those. The last part here is the soldiers leave reviews on the Brave One market. So instead of a top-down government saying, this is the type of munition you're going to use and this is the only one that's available, you have drone pilots buying this stuff, reviewing it, saying, yeah, this one works, that one doesn't, I prefer this, ABC. That is pretty innovative across the board. And right now, let's see, the leading unit in Ukraine right now, if we have this right, 16,298 points racked up by the Mygar birds. It's a lot of kills.
Wow. I would hate to have died because they changed the
Meaning system.
points for
Yeah.
killing me. Yeah.
Yeah, what it made me think of is like there's this accepted wisdom, I think, at least maybe a little bit by the general public, but maybe more primarily by economists, which is that like capitalism works better than communism, right? Like a central command system where someone decides, oh, here's what we should do, is not as good as a bunch of individual rational actors saying like, well, what works best for me is this, and I'm willing to pay for it.
Right.
So
At least for many types of goods, not all.
yeah.
But yeah.
And so that's what I like, because traditionally, you would think of the military as a very central command type of organization, right? Where you have like someone making the decision of like, we're going to give you these guns, we're going to give you these tanks, whatever.
Right.
And, if you don't like it, too bad, because like you can't just buy, your way into a different decision. But, here they're saying, okay, well, what if we do let them buy their way? They're using points, like virtual currencies, I guess, game points instead of money. But the idea being like, if you're good at what you do, if you kill a lot of people, then we're going to give you priority access to whatever materials you want to do an even better job, and so on.
Yeah. It's fascinating. That guy sounded like he was recording that in his basement while his mom was like yelling in the background. So I don't know how much I trust it, but it's interesting if it's true.
That is a caveat to keep in mind because I didn't independently verify it. But it's also like, to me, very plausible. It just seems like the general direction that the military is going in the future, not specifically gamifying, but this whole like focusing more on drone warfare, and if it's easy, capture the data, right, of recording kills and things like that.
Yeah.
As opposed to maybe before where, you send random humans out into the field. Some of them die, some of them come back. The guys who come back say, yeah, we were attacked by like 40, 80 guys, whoever. And we don't know, right? Like maybe not. As opposed to like looking at the drone footage and having AI, count the number of kills or something. I remember like a long time ago, the Call of Duty's video game series, which is like first person shooter warfare base.
Yeah.
Usually it's set in the near future. And I remember there was a scene that like moved me, I guess, emotionally in the game. So most of the game is like you're physically, like this predates drones, so they didn't really predict drones. You're just like, you're humans on the battlefield running around with guns and shooting each other, right? And it's pretty, it's not like an action movie. They try to tone it so it's pretty gruesome and like you're not happy that you're there, right? Like it's like, this is the tragedy of war type of thing. Although it definitely is probably like, war is probably a lot worse in real life, so it is a little bit more actiony in that sense, like in the sense that you're intended to win, right, as the protagonist of the game. So like you can kill 50 people and then you don't die and so on.
Right.
But like when you beat the game, there's sort of a post credits scene where like the credits are rolling, but while the credits are rolling, I think you're the gunner in the helicopter, and this is based on, I think, on a real thing, which is that they got these like super telescopic cameras and long range things where like you're shooting at people and the people don't see or hear the helicopter, like it's so far away, right? Like, so the people and so what happens is like you see like sort of a monochrome white and green type of screen, right? Like I guess it's supposed to be night vision type of thing. And you see like, for all I know, there's no context, right? Maybe it's civilians, just people walking around, in buildings in their home village.
Yeah.
And the order is to kill them. So you're like, okay, like it both, like it's a game, so you got to do it if you want to progress, but also like, in the military, I guess, if your commanding officer tells you to do it, you have to do it type of thing. Like, so it already puts you in that sort of shoes, right? Of like, so you're like, okay, so like I moved the crosshair over, and then I click the button and it's so far away that like I click it and you hear like ta 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 ta, like, cause the guns are like locally on your helicopter, right? But then I stopped the game, so there's silence, and then it's a good like 2 or 3 seconds before I see like the puff of cloud, of the bullet hitting the dirt. Like, meaning like the bullet had to travel so far to do it. You know, this is all part of the emotional experience here, like of realizing how distant I am away from the situation, and then you see like people in the infrared thing, they're panicking, they're scattering, and you just keep firing, and all throughout this time, your character like is talking to the pilot, I guess, as an NPC, and they're talking about like, oh, what do you have for lunch today? I think I'm gonna have a ham sandwich or something. So like so detached from the situation, right? Like emotionally, and yeah, so I found that like very poignant, I guess, emotionally. As and I'm thinking like, I feel like this is what it must feel like to do drone warfare, right? Like you're basically playing a video game.
Yeah.
And especially now that there's points, and everything, like,
Yeah.
and that's high scoreboard.
Yeah. It does lead to some PTSD in some people because of the sort of detached nature of it. Like it's one thing to kill someone when your life is, it's him or me kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like here, it's like
Yeah.
he doesn't care. He's talking about sandwich. He knows he's not in any danger because the
Right.
guy, like you're like 10 kilometers away. The guy doesn't even know you're there.
Right. There's a famous passage from the book Dispatches by Michael Hare, which was written about the Vietnam War, and it was very affecting for a lot of people. It was a journalist asking door machine gunner from a helicopter.
Yeah.
He's shooting from a helicopter at people in the fields, and he's shooting at basically anyone who he sees is down there. And the journalist asks him, how can you shoot women
yeah.
and children?
I think I remember
And
this
he
quote.
says, yeah, and he says, oh, you just lead them a little less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Funky Tron, welcome in. Funky Tron says, welcome back, Steph. Been 2 weeks. Has it? I don't remember.
Oh, has it? Was
Did we
it
miss last week?
I
Or maybe Funky Tron missed last week, but you didn't. I don't remember. All the days blur together for me.
yeah.
No,
I did
yeah,
miss
you were there last week because we did. That's why we did
I was there last
caskets.
week.
Yeah,
Right. But I wasn't there the week before.
yeah,
Maybe Funkytron wasn't here.
yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay. Fantastic. We're saying the same thing then.
Yes, we are. How good is your Japanese, Steph?
Oh, it's so good.
Okay, then you can help us translate this video, I guess.
Great.
League of Legends. You know League of Legends.
Sure.
Let me rewind a bit. And unmute. Oops, unmute.
Nice game? Nice game? アク、見て。071 031 081 001 Senatop, what the fuck? Noob! Fuck bitch noob!
So can you translate for us what the heck is going on in that? What was she saying? And
I think she was saying good job. You got 031 points.
yeah.
Good effort. Good work.
I mean, yeah, close. So I don't know how it's been a long time since you watched League of Legends, I think, Steph. The first number is how many kills you got, which is good, right? The second number is how many times you've died, which is bad, right?
Right.
So she's saying, good
so
game.
031
zeros.
seems
The one is the last
bad.
number is the assists, yeah. And then so she's saying, look, good game. Look, 071, 031, 081, 001, Senna top, what the fuck? Fucking bitch noob, right? That's what she was saying.
Good.
Because who plays Senna top, obviously, right? What an idiotic thing to do.
Obs.
Alright. Yes. This one says Giga Brain Chess. Let me see. I think this is... How good are you at chess, Steph?
About as good as I am at Japanese, so
Okay.
really good.
Do you know the rules?
I do.
Okay. Do you know the rules for tying the game?
Do I know the rules for tying the game? I'm not sure if I
coming
do
to
or
a
not.
draw. if there's only two king, like if every piece gets eliminated, so there's the black king and the white king, then the game ends in a draw because there's no way for a king to checkmate another king.
Sure.
Things like
Fair.
that. And
Okay.
if you do the same move if both players do the same move 3 times in a row, then it's considered a draw.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Things like that. You know, like
Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
okay. So let's see here.
Think about this. Ali Reza knew that he can make a draw, but he decided to allow this because the queen would cost Magnus time.
So I'm just pausing here, just meaning like so these Magnus is like the world's greatest at chess, right? I don't know if
Right.
how, and then
I knew
the
that
other guy,
much.
I don't know, but I guess he's really good also. And then I guess he's playing and he says he realizes, oh, I can just get a draw, right? Which against the world's greatest at chess, pretty good, right? Like
Right.
a lot of people
Yeah.
would take that. So that's like, you know, to set up the story here.
On chess.com, you have auto queen. It's this f8 queen. Getting the queen takes time. Magnus is down to 1 second, and Ali Reza forks his king and queen. And in this position,
You know what a fork is?
plays the
rewind a
most.
bit. Oops.
And in this position, plays the most.
Sorry, hang on, let me rewind a little bit.
King and queen.
Please pause on that frame. Gosh, darn
Magnus
it.
is down to 1 second, and Ali Reza
A fork is when you attack two pieces at the same time, right? So this knight, by moving here, he puts his king in check, and he can also attack the queen, right? Like he can, and because the king is in check, he has to move the king basically, or capture a piece. But there's no way to capture a piece in this case. So he's forced to waste a move basically by moving the king, and then the obvious thing you do here is then you take the queen, right? Because
Right.
that's the whole point of the fork, basically.
Okay.
forks his king and queen, and in this position plays the most gangster move of the game. He goes here, and Magnus Carlsen loses the game on time. Now, what's funny is, if Ali Reza took the queen, which is obviously the best move, this is a draw, because this is what's called insufficient checkmating material. The game ends automatically. You don't have a chance to continue the game. However, by going knight h4, he preserved the piece on the board. Now, this is where it gets really weird. The rules of chess are very weird. Because the Global Chess League is international, they follow the rulebook of the international governing body of the game, which says if a checkmate is theoretically possible, then it is a win for black. Magnus got up at this point and put the kings on these two squares because he thought it was a draw. Ali Reza was the one that said, no, I win. And Magnus looked at the board like... So the way, in theory, you would checkmate is by putting the king in the corner. Let's say, basically, I want the knight on c7, and I want the bishop here, and I want the king here. So here, 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 like this. Because this position is possible, Ali Reza wins this game. Fascinating.
I love this stuff. I love these like obscure technicality wins, you know?
Oh wow. I was just thinking I hate those.
Because it's just it's like I think it's part of my personality trait that makes me it gives me aptitude for being a computer engineer, computer programmer.
Sure.
Right? Like when the business person says, I want, you know, a website that does this, I'll be like, okay, here are the 12, you know, problems you didn't think of, you know, like, or whatever.
Right.
And all, you know, all the ways this can go wrong. And here's how we're going to try to fix them.
Yeah. Makes sense.
And people have also said, like, you know, it's the same type of thing that might make for a good lawyer. And yeah, maybe in an alternate life, maybe I would have been a lawyer. This next, it's also like, what was the guy's name? I forgot. The guy who's super good at Scrabble, right? I'm also, sometimes he does these things which are like at the boundary of the rules, because he's such an outlier, right? Richard Nigel or something like that. He does things that are at the boundary of the rule. You know, like when he's like, there was that word, I forget what it was, which word it was, but there's like the British spelling and the American spelling of words, you know, and then they were playing in this specific, like they were playing with the international rules. So and the international rule dictionary has a different, like it accepts, you know, one spelling but not the other but the American and things like that. And so the person he was playing against, you know, play the word, which is like, it is a word, like lots of, you know, English speakers use it, but it wasn't in the international Scrabble dictionary, although it was in the American Scrabble dictionary. So Nigel says, oh, you know, I'm calling whatever the word, I don't know what the term is, like I'm calling bullshit on your word. And they look in the dictionary, and sure enough, that's not in the dictionary. So the guy loses his turn and all that, you know.
Yeah, lame. I mean, amazing.
Did you hear also
Oh,
the guy,
interesting
was it
and
Richard
good.
Angels or whatever? He won the Spanish Scrabble, right? He we already knew he won French. We talked about
French, yeah.
recent, like a month ago or something. He won the Spanish one. He decided to learn another language and learn a language in scare quotes here, right? I just mean he
Right.
learns the dictionary, not that he knows any grammar rules or semantics or anything like that.
So bizarre. What a strange hobby.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean, good for him.
this one, I said peak 2025, but I don't remember what it is. So I guess we'll find out why this is peak
All right.
2025.
All right.
Speaker still works. Oh,
May I have your order?
Thanks.
yeah, that is how it feels. I don't know if this is real. Like this next one here seems implausible enough to me that I think it might be a fake, like a meme thing. But the claim is that people have hacked the crosswalks in U District in Seattle.
Okay.
So let's see here. Let me rewind, unmute.
Hi, I'm Jeff Bezos. This crosswalk is sponsored by Amazon Prime with an important message. You know, please don't tax the rich. Otherwise, all the other billionaires will move to Florida too. Wouldn't it be terrible if all the rich people left Seattle or got Luigi'd and then normal people could afford to live here again? Jeffrey Bezos.
Chucker says this happened to me too.
All
Like
right.
in person or online, like you saw a thing online. Because I'm like, how do you hack the crosswalk? There's no interface to like plug a keyboard in or anything like that. Like how would you go about this? And then let's do, you want to do Pointer or you want to just get straight to the real game? Pointer is that Bloomberg trivia game.
Oh, let's just go straight to the game.
Okay. Saw it online, says Chucker. Yeah, so it could, I mean, yeah, I saw a couple of these. Like, so this is one for Seattle. But I've seen some in other cities. And that's why I'm like, I don't know if it's real because I never saw this happen in person, right? Or is it just people
Right.
like dubbing over the audio and maybe it's fake then? But okay, so today we are playing a game called Labyban. Where is it? Here it is.
Okay.
It's a puzzle game.
Does it involve labs?
I think it's a French studio, and I think it involves labyrinths.
Oh, okay.
Where's my gamepad? Here it is. Ugh. You remember we talked about Sokoban as a game genre in the past?
Mm-hmm.
So this, I think, is a Sokoban game. And it also involves a labyrinth, question mark.
All right.
And so it's Labi and then ban from Sokoban, right? Like it's a portmanteau. It's a coat carrier.
Yep.
All right, no tutorial, but from my knowledge of Sokoban, you want to push boxes onto marked squares. I see one box and I see one marked square. So I'm going to push the box onto that marked square, I guess.
I see a step ladder and a air conditioner unit. You just put the step ladder on the air conditioner unit. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. I guess you can't move through these rocks. You
Great.
can't move through these walls. I don't know why there's rocks distinct from walls then. Like why not just have walls? But
Maybe later
yeah, there might be
that
new
will become
mechanics.
relevant.
So I think maybe we can start with this. And maybe we do the top right. And then while we're here, might as well do this guy. Some of these boxes are dark and some of them are light, and I think the dark ones are on a target.
Oh, okay.
That's my interpretation, because I think the boxes turn dark when they land on a target. So I think there's only one move you can do here, which is this, and then there's only one move you can really do here, which is this. But now we have some choices. We can go left or we can go down, I guess. Going left seems safer.
Okay.
I'm just trying to plan out moves to make sure I don't get stuck, right? Like because you can't soft lock in this game, in Sokoban generally, I mean.
Can you move 2 boxes at a time, or does
Well, Sokoban you
okay.
can. Let me try. Yeah, you can't in this game either.
Okay.
I'm just like immediately assuming every rule in Sokoban applies to this game. Yeah, okay, I'm just experimenting. I think this is like the safest thing to do. And then, do I push the top one to the right or do I push the bottom one to the right? I guess I push the top one, right? Because if I push the bottom one, I'm just stuck again, I feel like.
Right.
And then now what? Do I push it to the right again?
I mean, there's no other choice, is there?
Well, what I'm thinking is I may have made a mistake earlier. See this guy that I pushed all the way to the left? If I push him one less tile to the left, like so that he'd be where I'm standing now, then I could push this guy up and then come back around and then push this guy onto it later on if needed to, you know, but I don't know if that's needed for this puzzle or not. So yeah, I guess at this point then the only thing you can do is this. And what? Then I have to push this to the right, right? Okay, maybe it's not as hard as I thought it making it out to be.
I was gonna say, like, I think this is just introducing this.
But now what's this key
mechanic
here? I don't have a... There's a lock at the stairs down, which I can't get to. I think I should need to push this to the left first. And maybe... Do I push this guy down? I think so, right? Oh, I can't.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, it's locked in. Okay.
I did not... Yeah, that's a different mechanic, I think. I don't think traditional Sokoban makes you get locked in like that.
One more.
Okay, then I need to...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, good. Sorry, I almost made you not do that.
That's okay.
That would have been terrible.
Wait, but now how do I do this? No, then I think I messed up. I shouldn't have pushed this guy all the way down. I need to push him here and then push him up, right? I think I already messed up.
Wait, why? What's the problem?
Oh, sorry. Let me see if I can recreate it to explain the problem.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so in the original one, I'm saying here, at this point, if you push down again, you made a crucial mistake. So if you push it down, which is what I did the first time, now I'm like, okay, now I'm going to bring this guy, right? And then you see where the problem is now? Where...
Oh, because I see. You can't get... Okay.
Yeah, so
Cool.
let me do some undos.
Thank you.
So what I should have done, oh, but then this guy's stuck. So I guess I need to get him out first. Now I push this guy in here. The heck? Very symmetrical. I'm guessing there's more boxes than targets. And I don't want to count it explicitly, but that's my gut feeling. So it's symmetrical, so it doesn't matter what I do. Like this, you know, the 4 different ways you can start are all equivalent. Then what? Then this? I need to get a lot of these guys out of here somehow. I guess I can do this to get some guys out. And maybe something like... Oh, shoot, I forgot this it locks it in. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get used to that. I guess that one's fine, but... To me, it feels very non-standard rule. Let me think here. I think we'll do this.
Yeah, there's gonna be 4 extra, so I think you're just gonna have 4 that you have trapped by the rock corner thingies.
Yeah, the only thing is I gotta be cognizant of which one I get trapped or which order or whatever, right? Because...
Yeah.
To make sure I always leave a path where I can get out or get in or whatever. I think this is the one I'm gonna trap. Ice physics? Yep. When you press, you keep moving into... Oh. I thought it would stop on the snow here, but I guess not.
It did not.
Okay. Then... I guess...
Oh, so you have to put 2 in there and then... Yeah, gotcha.
Well, actually, maybe this one locks now, so maybe I don't need to worry about that guy anymore.
Right.
I don't know it. I'm just gonna try stuff. Oh, it doesn't lock unless it... I guess you have to stop on it, and then it'll lock. Oh, did I mess up? Oh no, maybe I'm okay. Yeah, I think I'm okay.
Did you ever get heavily into chess?
No. I showed you my graph before, right? My elo.
I think so, yeah.
And I was just like barely above average.
For people who play chess enough to care about their elo, yeah.
Well, I mean, if you sign up for the website, you just, it's not like opt-in. You get a rating.
Oh, gotcha.
So, of people who care enough about chess to go to that website, yeah.
Right.
How do I do the last 2? Or did I already mess up? Is it already unsolvable at this point? Did I have to do the corners, maybe? No, I don't... Yeah, I don't see how you can get... Like, I don't know how... I see how you can get the last one, because you don't have anyone to stop off of, you know, like this way. Like, I always stop that box off of something, and now there's nothing for me to stop off of. Unless, can I just push it off of the ice? Like, not on the ice at all? Is that... No, I can't. Yeah, I feel like I messed up here. Okay, let's reset. Okay, I think I see something that I can do. Maybe. Like, I think I maybe have to push one guy all the way around, maybe? Wait, no, I don't want to do that. Let me set again. I want this guy to be here, and I think I want him to be the last one I do. So then... Actually, no, I don't see how to do it anymore. Maybe I don't need him to be the last one. If I start with this. Oh, now I've really soft locked actually. Now I realized.
I was like, what? How is this gonna work? Like, what am I missing?
Alright, how do we do this then? Because I'm trying to look at what the last move has to be and then go backwards from there, but...
Okay, the bottom left,
Yeah.
push it over.
Like, meaning up or right?
Right. And do that with the top one too, the top left. Right? And then does this work?
Well, it depends on what the next sequence of steps are.
Down at the bottom.
Like, push this block down?
No.
Or walk to the bottom?
So, yeah, and then push it up.
Okay. I mean, it should be symmetrical, but that's fine.
And then the top one down. The top right down. What happens if you push the top one? Where does it go?
I don't know which one you mean.
The top block.
So you want me to go up?
Yeah.
And then left?
Yeah, what happens?
And then what? Push
Does
down?
it go off the ice? No, like it won't push down, right? So it has to go left or right. What happens?
Well, that I'm asking you because I don't know what you want me to do. So I said, do I go up? You
I'm
said
asking
yes, so
you
I go.
what happens.
What happens if you do what?
If you push it to the left or right.
It will move to the left or to the right, I guess.
And what? Does it stop at the edge of the ice? Does it
Yeah.
go
it stops
off
at
the ice?
edge of
What
It
is-
stops at the edge of the ice.
Okay. So can you push it to the left? Okay. And then can you do the bottom block? Can you also push it to the left? And then can you push it up? And then can you push it over? Okay. And then can you push the what do I need it to do? Can you push the top block? No. Can you push the rightmost block to the left? And then can you push it down one? Okay, and then push the top block down. And then push it over. And then push the bottom. Oh, I see. Okay. It's so hard to do this when you're not doing it yourself because you just don't get a very intuitive feel for the physics.
Yeah, that's why I was expecting you to say, like, you know, like go up or go down. And like I just literally do exactly the inputs you tell me, you know?
Sure. Okay. Can you push the rightmost block down one? Okay. And then can you push the left block over to the right block and then push it up? Okay. And then figure out the last one.
Yeah, this is it. That's what I'm saying. So you need to set it up. I don't have to undo here. you need to set up so that I think a guy ends like this, right? Now, like, meaning I need to get this guy, the bottom left guy, here without touching the guy on the right. You have to have the last walk not be in the corner, in other words, I think. And that's why it says, okay, so I'm working backwards. If that needs to be the last step, then the step before that, I also need this guy to be like right above here, for example.
Okay, then I got an idea.
And so on. And that's why I'm like, and that's why I was like, oh, what if I do this? And then I realized, oh, that completely locks me. Because I was thinking all the way at the end without figuring out.
Solve it from there.
Okay.
But now you've made it go away.
We can redo it, I mean.
Okay.
So I don't know if you see a solution here. I think
Not immediately.
maybe at this point it might already be too late even. I'm not sure.
Okay. No.
Yeah, I have the impression at this point it's already too late. It's already soft locked. So I'm gonna undo a little bit.
Are you saying soft lock?
Yeah.
Like gently lock?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hard lock is like back in the old days when a program would crash. Like you're pressing buttons, nothing's reacting. Like what the hell's going on? You know, it's frozen. It's locked. Hard locked. Soft lock is the game isn't frozen. I can move around, but there's no way of making progress.
Gotcha. Okay. Wait, go back.
So from here, when you say go back,
Yeah, push it back to where it was. Yeah. Okay. So move the left one down.
okay, I feel like it's very valuable that it's not at the corner, but we can do it.
Move the right one over. Okay, move the left one up. Move it right. Move it down. Move it over one. Okay, is this good?
No.
Because it's not in the corner? Okay.
I mean, yeah, so we do this, right? I guess is what you're intending, but then it's not clear how to get this guy.
Well, you wanted it not in the corner.
Yeah, but I want it more specific than that. But I don't know how to
Okay.
put it in language.
Okay, go back and do
Okay.
that again, but like move it so that the other one is there.
Like, so from here, what do I do?
The same thing. You move the right one. It's so hard. Like I don't know left and right. Like I can't.
Can you keyboard side, mouse side, or?
Not very. I don't even have a mouse currently. Move that to the left. Move that top one up. Right. Down. Okay, move the right one to the... No, move the left one to the right. Okay, now move the top one up. Yeah, I don't... What is your plan to do?
I'm thinking I want to get. So now this guy, the guy I just pushed, is in position to move into the top left target. Right? At the end, once we fill everything else out, you just take this guy and push him to the right into. So now I'm saying, okay, now that that's the last move, what's the before last move? And so that's in terms of how I'm trying to think about the prom. Oops, wait, that's not what I meant to do. I meant. So I'm trying to think about something like maybe like this. And then. Oh, maybe we got. Yeah, I think I got it.
Okay.
Oh gosh. So we need to stack two guys vertically on top of each other, or horizontally, I guess. Something like. How would you do this? Maybe. Oops.
Oh yeah, swap the places of it. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, you were thinking something else?
Oh.
Because I'm trying to think, how do I get even one guy onto the target? And so something in this.
Okay.
And then from there, now what do I do? I'm not like I see long term I'm gonna run into problems. I can see some moves I can do now, but I don't see the full solution. I guess okay, let me just do it and then see if it becomes more obvious as I get closer.
Okay, so can you do the top right one? Can you make it go right, left, right, down, left, up?
Okay, yeah, then I can do.
Oh wait, undo. Oh no. Okay, sure. I'm sure you can figure it out from here.
Well, I'm not sure if I can do one more move. I don't know if I can do the whole thing.
Okay.
I'm seeing this now, right? Oh, I got it. Okay,
Yeah,
and
that's
then I.
Yeah.
The key was I was thinking then I push into place, but no, the key is you don't push into place because you need to use it to block the next guy. The heck is this? Oh, it's like stripy checkerboards ice, I guess.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I guess isn't it just? Oops.
I think it's just introducing you to this mechanic.
Oh wait, why did you skip one? Okay, there we go. What is this bullshit? Okay, so I think similar idea. I just gotta change. Oh no, once I push all the way down, I can't push it up. I just realized. So that doesn't work. Okay, reset. Huh. So how do I do this?
I don't know. That's so little.
So zoom in. Okay, I can block
We're still so good.
with the other guy, like this. So that's
Yeah.
one in.
I feel like it's a similar solution to what we were doing. Just
How do I get onto the? I want to get onto that brown tile to the top right of me right now, and I can't figure out how to do that. Oh, maybe if I go all the way down. Yeah, there we go. Hmm. I wonder if I've already messed up at this point. I'm wondering if I need this guy to move everyone else onto a good tile. Like, there's an even odd parity thing going on here, right? Where like half of the brown tiles are not aligned with the green target tiles, and half of them are.
mm-hmm.
And so now I'm trying to think, maybe I needed. So I can do the two left green tiles. Now I'm trying to figure out how do I do the bottom right green tile.
Uh-huh.
Fingerant says, was talking to someone about the brain head transplant or head transplants in the day this would become practice safe. I question whether it would be the same person or another person stuck in the new body, since you now own the mind, thoughts, memories of another person. So we talked about this and asked, would you even be you anymore?
That is considered one of the hard problems in consciousness studies.
Is it though? It sounds pretty straightforward to me.
Does it?
Yeah. Like, I mean, so identity isn't super, like, in terms of like physics and atoms and so on, isn't well defined, right? But like, where our technology is nowhere near that close. So right now, society is set up so that identity is meaningful, right? The analogy I always use is your hands versus your atoms, right? It is useful to talk about hands. We can agree like this is a hand, that isn't a hand, in everyday speech. But when you get down to the level of atoms, you know, I say like, well, is this still a hand if I remove these atoms, right? And then it becomes ambiguous.
Right.
So, right now in common day scenarios, identity is meaningful. Like, you know, I am the same person I was yesterday. When I go to sleep and I wake up in the next morning, I'm still the same person. That sort of stuff. We tend to associate identity with memories, right? Like there's a sequence of memories. And that's how I can establish that you know, I am still me and I'm not somebody else all of a sudden. Memories are stored in the brain. If you have a brain transplant, you know, whatever that means, probably you don't have your memories anymore. You have the other person's memories. And then the straightforward thing to say is that then you're not you anymore. Now you're that guy, right? It's not you. It's and so it's not that you had a brain transplant. It's that he had a body transplant. Right? Isn't that the straightforward resolution to all of these paradoxes and problems that are related to this thought experiment?
Sure. Go ahead and write the papers.
Well, I mean, is there an open question? You know, like I don't want to write a paper that's just stating the obvious. Or maybe like a paper that's straw manning, right? Like I write this paper and then the philosopher's like, yeah, but that wasn't the question we were asking, you know?
Yeah, I think the scenarios are usually somewhat more complicated than that. And you get into the fact that, like, when you start simulating your memories in someone else's body,
So it's not
your
just
memories wouldn't.
it's not just like switching brains, it's like implanting the memory module of a brain inside another existing brain or something like that is what you're getting at now, or
Yeah, maybe.
yeah, and that's where there are situations where identity breaks down. So that, you know, the thing you're talking about is one of them. The other one is Star Trek style transporters, where like the classic problem is like, so the idea is like the way the transporter is hypothesized to work is it scans your atoms or whatever, like it does an exact scan of you, then like kills you, right? Disintegrates your body, and then at the other end it reconstructs what your body was, kind of like a fax. Yeah. But like so the idea is, but let's say there's a malfunction and then it doesn't kill you, like at the source, so now there's two of you, so which one is you, right? And the only reason like this is perplexing is because of that whole hand atom thing, right? Where we have a notion of identity, but when you know get into the details, it's not coherent.
Right. And then I've read a version of that where normally what happens is you get teleported, right? And then you don't feel like anything happened to you, even though they're destroying the old copy of you. You just feel like you were in one place and now you're in another place. Because your existence goes on, your exact same atoms transport somewhere else. But then there's a malfunction and they tell you, oh, you were supposed to get destroyed and appear over there, so we're gonna, but you didn't, so we're gonna kill this version of you. And they're like telling you in a way that you can hear and see and think about, like, oh man, and your instinct is just like, what? No.
Yeah, but I would argue your instinct is wrong in that case. if we accept that is how the transporters work, right? Like that they they're not actually really transporters, they're cloning machines, long range cloning machines, where we just always kill the original. Then and like if this is accepted as part of society, I don't know how a person would react, but I would argue that, you know, the way to maintain societal order is to accept that, yeah, okay, go ahead and kill this version of me, right? Like, because that's how it's supposed to work.
Sure. And you're just supposed to be fine with it.
Yeah, but you know, there's this different societal or psychological question of will people be fine with it, but it's not a philosophical question, it's an empirical question, you know, like, and maybe some cult, like maybe North Americans are not fine with it, but Asians are, or, you know, whatever, like, you know, it's just culture at that point. The thing is, like, when we write laws and the way we organize societies and things like that are under the assumption that this memory identity relation is coherent, when it's not, right? And so the thing is, once you have these cloning machines, then a lot of things go wrong, right? Like who owns the contents of your bank account? Are you allowed to vote? You know, and like all sorts of things, like so.
Very complicated.
Yeah. Fucky Tron is clarifying. It's like getting half your brain removed, and if they could hypothetically replace the half of your cerebrum, whichever forgot which is which, with another person, would you still be you in the same way, or would it depend on what part of the brain will replace if key components that make you you? Yeah, so I mean, I feel
you're getting a transplant of like half of a brain from someone else.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to dwell too much on the biological thing. Because I think it doesn't, like, that's not the important part, right? I think the important part is when this link between memory and identity is shown to be a facade, right? As a society, we have to decide, you know, how we're going to deal with that. And so, like, it happens with the cloning thing too. Like, it doesn't have to be a half brain surgery thing. Like, if we can clone you, we create two copies of you, both of which have memories, like the original memories, so they both think that they are you, right? They both say, they both have your full memories. What do we do in that case? Do we say both of them are you? Do we by and this it's not like a physics thing, right? I'm saying by law, by convention, we just declare, the one on the right is always you and the one on the left is always the clone, or like we have to come up with a solution, and it's not going to be based on it's going to be a societal solution because it's a societal problem in the first place. It's not going to be
would be
a
really
scientific
weird to get-
problem, like not a physics problem.
It would be really weird to get half of a brain, though.
Yeah.
It's not yours. I don't even know. I don't think that could work. Like people think that your brain is pretty standardly organized. Like, oh, everybody's brain works
Yeah.
kind of the same way, sort of like a heart does, and you could just get a pig heart and keep going. But brains really don't work that way. Brains are self-organizing systems. So the way that your brain works, it started with similar principles to other people's brains, but it's so complex and adaptive to these tiny little changes that even the way your brain does stuff like memory or does stuff like language is different from person to person. Like you have a language network in your brain, but it's not exactly the same as anyone else's because it responded to all these tiny little perturbations and organized itself very slightly differently. Sort of like cities all over the world are all cities, and you can look at something and in most cases be like, oh, that's a city. But because they all started with different geology and organizing principles, and at different times, all cities are slightly different. And so you can't really like transplant half of Shanghai onto half of Seattle and make something that is functional. It's just not going to work.
Right.
Like basic transportation might not even work, right?
Yeah. I agree with you on like the biology of it doesn't make sense, but I think people usually when they ask this type of question, they don't care about the biology, which is why I'm saying, so forget the brain transplant thing, just think about cloning and you have the same problems. Like they care about the philosophical aspect, I guess. I'm assuming that. I might be doing typical mind fallacy here. I might be projecting.
Yeah,
it,
I think you're doing typical mind fallacy. Like I
Yeah.
think Funkytron is saying like they were having this conversation with someone, and this is the question they came up with. And it's sort of interesting. I haven't really thought about like what would it be like to suddenly get half of someone else's brain. Like I don't think I think just one side of the brain would just sort of win, because otherwise the body couldn't function. So if the person is functional, I think one side of the brain would just sort of have to win. But I haven't really thought. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you could start with something smaller, right? Like you could say, what if I take just the hippocampus from one person and replace, my hippocampus with that person's hippocampus or whatever?
Yeah, I don't know what the effects of that would be. Like, I don't know if it's possible. It's interesting to think about. Funkytron, where did you come down on the whole thing?
And also, what do we do here? I can't figure out how to get the last block in place.
I don't know, man. You're on your own on this one.
Man, I'm wondering, what if I swap which guy goes to which? Meaning I do. Oops, I didn't want to push him that far. Maybe I think I got it.
Okay. Yeah, you got it.
How do I get onto the tile I want to get onto now, though? Oh, am I going to the bottom? Booger says, I believe no, you wouldn't be you, as I said in the second half, and you guys explained it very well. It's tricky, but consciousness and memories is the key part of one. If you could replace working brain with a clean slate, it still would be you, because you would no longer have that identity definer. Hard to explain. Why is this so small now? Look at we're tiny on this screen.
It's so small. What are you? Wow. Good luck.
So I don't know if you're actually Funky John. Maybe now that I'm reading your phrasing here, maybe you're asking about the subjective experience of the person who had the surgery done or the procedure done, whether it's surgery or a clothing machine or whatever. Because I had thought you were talking about like what would the societal impacts be, right? Like, I sort of say what's whatever society wants. I sort of pass the buck there.
Yeah.
But if you're saying what is your subjective experience? I think it's at every point in time you feel like you would think that you're you, right? You might.
Is that weird?
Like even if you become a different person, that new person
you still feel like
is the
you.
person who thinks, oh, it's like finally I'm me. I was weird before, like I was. No, like I'm serious, right? Like.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Because I mean,
like when people get half their brain removed because it causes it causes seizures.
Yeah, and like finally the real me is revealed, right? Like I was under there the whole time, and now I can finally be me. Which is not what the first. What would the original person? That's not what the original identity would be thinking, right? The original identity is like, oh no, I got deleted. I'm gone now.
Right.
So you would be a different person, but that different person would say that, I'm finally me, like,
Weird.
I don't know how to get this towel onto the towel I want to get it onto. Oh, I guess maybe I need to. Let me think. I need to push this guy down and then use him as a thing to block the next guy. Oh, except I can't get above this guy. Like I can't stop on that tile. Maybe if I do something like... Oh no, I still can't stop on that tile. I didn't think this through.
Why are these considered labyrinths?
I guess we're moving from room to room. I don't know.
Okay.
But I would say I would have to see the result testing or some sort of thing, like if a friend were to get a brain translate, let's say from trauma or some disease, and they got a healthy donor, I would have to see for myself any changes, because since I never seen it and it's uncommon, it is something I would have to experience firsthand.
Reasonable.
I feel like I've already messed this guy up and I should reset. What does this thing do? Oh, wait, we have an inventory? Oh, right, that's right. We found a level that had a key or a lock in it, and we never found a key.
Oh, right.
Okay, reset. We can zoom in a little bit, but then we don't see the full puzzle. This is as far as we can zoom in.
I wonder why they made the ground and the boxes the same color. Like, what was and like the trees and the target the same color? What was their thinking that it looks like dirt and boxes or something?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think there was a. I think they just go like, what is the normal color of dirt? What is the normal color of boxes? I don't think there was a deeper.
Oh, I can't hear you all of a sudden.
Can you hear me now? Hello? I don't know what happened. Everything seems fine on my side. I'm not muted or anything like that, so I don't know why Steph can't hear me anymore. Everything is fine on my side. I'm not sure why you can't hear me.
Weird. So I guess you can hear me. I just can't hear you. I can hear sound
Yes,
through
I
my
can hear.
headphones. Like I tried the thing. Oh, weird. I don't know why I can't hear you. Are you muted?
Were you hearing the game music earlier?
Yeah, I was hearing the game music earlier.
Do you
Yeah.
hear the game music now?
No, I don't hear anything now.
Is your headset USB or the older style jack?
Is my headset USB or the older style audio jack? It is USB, but I can hear. Like I checked. Like I hit the, deafen
Possibly
Discord, and it makes that
Discord.
little sound, so I can hear fine through Discord. I tried unplugging it and plugging it back in just in case. That didn't solve the problem.
Let's try hanging up and recalling.
Let's try hanging up and recalling. Okay.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can?
Weird. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we didn't make any progress while you were away, quote unquote,
Why didn't you do it?
because I was busy debugging your Discord problems.
My Discord problems.
Yeah.
You were obviously the problem.
So I think I'm an outlier neurologically because I find that people think in terms of fault, like whose fault is it, a lot more than me, and like I'm often surprised or taken aback by how people seem to focus on or worry so much about fault.
Okay, were you making fun of that when you said your Discord problems?
No,
Okay, why did you call them my Discord problems if you don't think in terms of fault?
I don't know. Maybe I do think in terms of fault sometimes.
Oh, okay, all right.
But like for
Because
example,
I wasn't thinking it was anyone's fault, and then all of a sudden you were like, your Discord problems. I'm like, wait, what? My Discord was working fine. That's confusing. Like I felt defensive because I felt like you were blaming
Yeah.
me.
that's
Then
fine.
you're like,
That's
oh, I
reasonable.
don't think in terms of blame. I'm like,
No, but
wait.
it's just you reminded me of it. I'm not saying right now. Okay?
Yes,
So,
yeah.
so like for example, whenever a lot of times on Reddit, I look at these like social advice subreddits sometimes, right? Both to
Yeah.
like give advice and receive advice, or read advice anyway. I rarely ask questions there. But what I see a lot is people saying like, my boyfriend or my girlfriend did this, and now I feel this. Am I right? Like, am I right to feel it?
Mhm.
And I feel like that's like the wrong mindset to have, because there's like using the premise of that question, there's basically two possibilities, right? The one possibility is like, yeah, you're right and your partner is wrong, or you're wrong and your partner is right, and neither of them really solve your problem. I feel like.
Sure, but you're reading those situations incorrectly in terms of like you're reading it literally as if the person actually wants advice, and and as if the other people are there to give advice.
Well, they do give advice.
And yes, but they're not there to give advice. Like if you read, for example, the I don't know, Everything is Bullshit Substack, or the Elephant in the Brain book,
Yeah.
something like that. Like, we are social apes. We are trying to curry status. The person who is asking for quote unquote advice is not like, they're not telling the truth. In most cases, they are presenting a version of a story that will best, from their perspective, garner social support, in case their partner leaves them, or in case they need a new partner, or because they're feeling lonely or something like that. So they're going there and saying, like, here's the story. Could I possibly be wrong? But they're telling the story in such a way that they are obviously not wrong, and they're not the asshole, to use the Reddit term. They are, the hero of the story. And everyone else is there not really to pass judgment or give real advice there, but because gossip helps us bond as a tribe, by reinforcing sort of social norms, and also because as social animals, we're incredibly interested in what other people can get away with, what the punishment will be, what the social appropriation will be, etc. We're basically like watching a simulation of a social experiment to see what the results are. And we get lots of rewards for doing this because our brain really wants us to learn from social situations. So it gives us all kinds of rewards for watching social situations. But it's the same way we watch shows on TV. We're watching to learn from them, and our brain just happens to be lighting up with chemicals that make us want to keep doing it. Not because, like, it's sort of a byproduct.
Yeah,
It's kind of like, oh,
I think I'm aware and understand everything you're saying, and it's sort of like a subconscious signaling thing, also, right? Like, because I think there is also like, for some of these people, not necessarily all of them, at the conscious level, they think they genuinely want advice and want to understand.
They do think they genuinely want advice, yes. And you probably
and so I think there is value in giving them advice, even if they were motivated by signaling or whatever.
Possibly. People very rarely take advice, right?
Yeah.
They'll pay for it, but they very rarely actually do it, which is
Yeah.
how every therapist, coach, everything, stays in business.
Yeah.
But nobody actually does what is said.
Well,
They're like, oh, you didn't actually understand.
I do.
Yeah, you might, maybe.
And like the thing is, I do seek out advice, not from general public typically, because I think most advice out there is bad. But like, for example, the Less Wrong community and Scott Alexander in particular, right? Like when they write these articles or their Substacks or whatever, and they're like, oh, here's a common mistake I see people making, and here's how you should, here's a way of thinking, a mental model or framework to avoid that, right? And I'll be like, oh, that's good, that's useful. Like, I find myself making that mistake, and now I will try to adopt this framework, and then avoid making this mental mistake in the future. That sort of thing.
Possibly, but in that case, you're not really asking for advice. You're asking for like technical troubleshooting help.
Yeah, it's sort of just browsing around though, like because I don't like have. It's not like I got a problem. Let me go figure out how to fix it. It's like I don't even know if I have a problem. I'm just looking around, and then occasionally I will encounter problems, and like I will occasionally read the description of something that says, "Oh, that does describe a problem I've had," and I didn't even realize that it was a problem, or that I didn't realize it was fixable or whatever, And,
Yep.
so sorry, going back to the level of this puzzle, it just occurred to me that thinking like it might be a red herring to think that I have to move one of these 2 boxes to this green square. Instead, what I might have to do is move one of these boxes up here, and then move one of those boxes down here.
That's possible, yeah.
Because I'm looking at this and I say I can't see at all how to get these 2 boxes, either of these 2 boxes, onto that green square.
Right.
So let's try that, I guess. Let me just preview the path here. Yeah, okay. So then what I could do is move this guy over here. Now what? Now how do I get some guy down there? In particular, the box next to me, like the non-set box, I don't know where I can move it at all. I guess I can. No, I can't even move it to the left because I can't stop on the tile to the right of it because it's ice. So now, like, I can't figure out how to move that. I guess I can move it to the right, but then it's stuck on the right, and then I can never move it again. Okay, so the other thing, another alternative that maybe I was supposed to do, I'm undoing right now. I'm rewinding in time.
Does it work if I share the link like that? Yeah, it does. You can see it now.
Bullshit advice. We get it from self-help book. Okay, I haven't read the article obviously yet, but like the thing is with self-help books, I don't think the problem is that, it's signaling and like the root cause is not that it's signaling. The root cause is that most advice is bad, right?
So the first line of the article is just we get it from self-help books, but the whole point of the everything is bullshit Substack is to point out how a lot of our reasoning about why we do things is inaccurate based on what we're actually doing. And he writes about like how various social things that we say or think we're doing for one reason, when we actually look at our behavior, we're saying it, we're doing it for a different reason. So he has like happiness is bullshit, money is bullshit, etc. This is his most recent article, which is advice is bullshit. And I think that's just the first line is saying like, oh, we try and get it from self-help books, etc. But really, it's all garbage.
Okay, I am interested. So
I just want more people. I just want more people to read his Substack. So,
Okay. Yeah, I'm stumped on this. I don't know how to make any progress on this puzzle. Actually, now I'm thinking about there's what I could do. I could move this guy over here, and then I can push it down. And maybe this gives me progress on the puzzle. Yeah, this looks good. So that's... Oh! I just leave? No, I can't because I can't stop on that tile. Wait, I could if I go here. Is there a... I got a tile screen. Is there a... There's no way to go back, huh? There's no like level select screen is what I'm looking at. Like, you know, the puzzle I just did, now I want to go back and do like solve the other paths.
Mm.
And I don't see a way of doing it that. So maybe that's what makes it like a labyrinth?
Yeah, maybe.
I'm getting real sick and tired of this checkerboard pattern though, this mechanic. It's really annoying to deal with. I'm wondering if I'm already soft locked or not.
I'm gonna go away from keyboard for a second here.
Okay. Oh, that's brutal. Should've... Oh yeah, look on both sides. Okay, so on either levels, there's an even oddness. You see how like on this side, to get on the tile I want to get onto, it's ice right now. And then on the other levels, I say, oh, I'll just go on the other side. But here it's also ice on these sides. I guess I can walk here? No, this is ice, apparently. What the heck? Wait, how do I get back into the... Oh, like this. Shit, now how do I get onto the tile I need to get onto to push that guy? Yeah, this spot is key. This is the only break in the symmetry in the whole puzzle. There's like no tree here, and that's what lets me get in, whereas I can't get in from any other point. I can't get into this diamond from any other point. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, but maybe it's okay. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, how do I get out now? Undoing. No, I definitely want. I'm pretty sure I want to do this. I just gotta figure out how to get out once I do that. I just wanted to go one tile. It goes all the way there. That sucks. Let's rewind a whole bunch.
Did you solve all of them?
No,
Why not?
because I'm not that smart. Wait, how do I
Why
get
not
on
to
that
be
tile?
smarter?
Oh, that's how I got there. Okay. I don't know. I'm struggling with this, with reasoning about this checkerboard thing, of where I can only slide on alternating tiles. Like I can only stop on alternating tiles. I guess it's the key. Here's stuff. Like I'll give you an example. I was with this person, and I had recently got some forks, and like I bought the forks, I put them in my kitchen, and she didn't like the forks. She got really upset, and I could have gone on the internet. I'd be like, guys, who's being reasonable here? Like, you know, am I wrong for buying these forks?
Mm-hmm.
But that wouldn't have solved the problem, right? Like, let's say, like, they're like, yeah, you know, you're right, she's wrong. She's crazy that she doesn't, like, you know, she's crazy for getting upset over these forks.
Right.
How does that help me with my relationship? Like, now what do I do? I show her the Reddit post. I'm like, look, you're crazy. You know, Reddit says so.
Right.
Instead,
That's
I'm like,
what I mean by looking at the actual motivations behind your behavior. Like you think you're, you know, asking real advice on how to solve this problem about the forks, but there is no advice that you could get about whether you're right or wrong that will solve the problem. So you
Yeah.
must have some motivation,
well, I mean,
right? And it's a social motivation. You don't have one.
yeah,
You're
it
not-
could be like, I mean, the motivation could be like, or you said there must be some reason. The reason could be because you're dumb and you don't realize that you're asking the wrong question, right? Like, in practice, I think
Possibly, yeah.
in practice, I think there is like that signaling motivation thing going on, but it's not necessarily the case. Like this doesn't prove that there's that other motivation, right?
I think it kind of does though, because like nobody ever then does that thing of going to their partner and saying, "Look, Reddit says you're wrong. Now you have to like the forks."
I thought
Like,
they
no,
do
like
that. People do that.
No, I don't think they do. I
Okay.
don't think they ever do. I think everyone knows there's no way that's going to work. Nobody is like, oh,
I think
well,
people-
if you showed me that, I would believe
Yeah,
you.
I think people, if you question them, like if you ask them to think about it, they don't think it's gonna work,
Yeah.
right? But I don't think they think that
Right.
deeply. I think they do. I don't know for sure. I don't have data, but my model of humans is that they, you know, the boyfriend or the girlfriend would turn around and say, "Look, you see, I'm right, you're wrong. Reddit agrees with me." Even though that this isn't gonna help, they would do that anyway. Right? Like, that's my belief anyway about people, that they would show it.
I think I don't think they do.
Like they want
And
to
I
win the
don't
argument in a sense, right? Like because they think winning the argument would solve their problems at some subconscious level or something like that.
Maybe there is a, you know, sometimes in marital therapy, people say like, we're going to go present our problem to the therapist, and the therapist is going to decide. And maybe they think that's going to work. It never does work, but maybe they think that it will. You know, our legal system is sort of built that way, right? Like,
Yeah.
we'll go take the problem to the judge, and the judge will decide, and then we'll both be satisfied. That doesn't ever actually happen.
No, like
But,
the loser's not
people
satisfied. Like,
think
you
that's
know,
the case. Yeah, exactly.
it's
Right.
never they're satisfied.
Right. Right. But in a lot of cases, when these people do this part where they tell the story, the reason they don't go show their boyfriend, oh, hey, Reddit said you're wrong about the forks, is because the person didn't tell the story objectively. They told us that, you know, they stacked the deck. And so they're never
Yeah.
going to go back to their boyfriend and be like, when I
Yeah.
told them this version of the story.
Maybe. I
They
mean, like
all
what
said
you
you're-
describe probably does happen. But I feel like what I described also probably does happen, you know? Where they genuinely, like at the conscious level, they genuinely think I want advice. I want a third, because I think from their perspective would be like, I know I'm right, but my partner's being crazy. She or they don't realize they're being crazy. Let me show them that they're crazy. I'm gonna go on Reddit. I'm gonna phrase it as objectively neutral as possible so that my partner can't complain. And everyone's obviously gonna take my side, and then I can show it to my partner and then prove to them how crazy they're being.
I agree with you that they genuinely think that is their motivation on the surface. I think they're wrong about that motivation, and I think the way you can tell that they're wrong is they don't actually do that second part one of the many ways you can tell they're wrong is that they often don't actually do that. And honestly, that's very rarely how you would like if you genuinely thought your partner was having a crazy reaction to something, that they were being nonsensical, I don't think you'd act like
Well,
that's just not how you'd solve.
okay, so now I'm going to give anecdotal data, I guess, because before I move on to that, let me finish the fork story, I guess, to contrast for people. Like, so one thing that I think a neurotypical person would do would be something like, there's lots of things they could do, but one possibility is they go on Reddit, they post a story, and then they go back to their partner and say, look, see, Reddit agrees with me, you're being crazy, so now you should stop being crazy. You should, become a reasonable adult and stop freaking out about these forks. But that's not what I did, right? Because I don't think my claim is I don't think in terms of faults like this, and I quote unquote realize that this is not going to help the problem. So what actually happened in this situation was I told my partner at the time, I was like, okay, listen, I don't understand why you're reacting this way. It seems strange to me, but we've been together for many years, and I respect you. So for some reason you don't like these forks, fine, I'll throw out the forks. It's like $20, whatever, right? Not worth ending our relationship over. And then She was like, no, it's okay, you know, you can keep the forks. And then everything de-escalated, and then it was fine after that, I feel like.
Yes. And that's one way, for example, that you might actually solve the problem, is you might say like, oh, this is a preference thing. It turns out it's not that big of a preference to me. You seem to have a really strong one. Like, let's do this. Or
Exactly.
we'll agree to disagree. Or I don't understand your point of view, but I support you as a partner. Right?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
That's and what's actually happening in those moments where people go to Reddit and tell this crazy fork story is they don't believe in their partner as a person. They don't want to problem solve it. So they're telling their village their side of the story because
Like preemptively, so that when the argument happens, the village will take their side instead of the partner's side.
Exactly. It is your press secretary at work.
Yeah. Like I said, I do think what you say, like there's both of these things happen. Like what you describe happens, but I think what I describe also happens. And I said I was going to give anecdotal data now. So like, Steph, you know, my brother and my mom are having these problems, which I don't want to get too much into detail on the stream, but they get into arguments. And I feel like my brother's behavior is like what I'm describing. Like he thinks if I just get an objective third party to take my side in front of my mom, that will make my mom realize that she's being crazy and she should just, and then she'll, once she realizes, she'll just stop, and then she'll act reasonable. Like that's the behavior I observe with my brother, for example, and which makes me think like, you know, the thing that I'm describing does happen sometimes.
Yeah, I think it would more happen in relationships that were maybe not partner relationships, maybe. And that are less, you know, but even in that case, I would suggest there are probably some ulterior motives that you're not aware of. Like, the one person is trying to say, like, your brother might be like trying to say, like, look, you guys agree that she's being irrational, and I shouldn't have to take care of a irrational person. Oh, I just lost the sound again. I don't know if that means you can still hear me.
I can still hear you. We hang up and
You can still hear me.
call
Okay.
again.
Maybe we do the thing where we hang up and
Yeah.
start the call again.
Hello? Hello?
Hello? You can hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you.
me?
This.
Okay,
okay.
good.
Yeah.
So you were saying?
I think so I think in that case, the person's ulterior motives are to say, like, look, they're so irrational that I showed them this text thread and they still continue to be irrational, so I shouldn't have to take care of them, right? Because obviously they're that irrational. Like, I still think it's is a social motivation to it. They're trying to say, like, look how irrational this person is, so that they don't have to keep interacting with them, for example.
Yeah, I do agree
They
that
have like a good reason to not do
yeah,
it.
I do agree that motivation exists, but I'm claiming, and maybe maybe you're not arguing or you're not disagreeing with me. I'm claiming there's also especially at the conscious level, this idea of like, no, I really am trying to find advice. I really want to fix this problem.
I agree with you that, like, but you know that I have strong feelings that, or, you know, strong beliefs that people's conscious motivations are, to quote the Substack, bullshit.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Right.
But
I agree with you that people
so
think that's what they're trying to do.
It sounds like maybe we agree on everything, except maybe we're not agreeing on like what percentage of it is, you know, the bad motivation versus the good motivation. But also, one more thing I'm not sure if we agree on or not is, even in this situation where there's like, you know, X% evil motivation, X% good motivation, it is like in that scenario, there is value in giving person like ignoring the bad motivation and just giving them advice, you know.
I don't know if there is value. I know that I do it all the time, right? I have strong social motivations, just like everyone else, to quote unquote give advice and feel like it's useful. I don't know if it actually is useful. I think I don't have a strong opinion on that.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure. I'm not sure advice actually is useful.
That's fair.
Even though I literally make a living off of it.
No, yeah, the thing is, I give the advice, but I give like this weird contrarian, non-neurotypical advice, right? Which is like, it's not like forget the forks, like, you know, save your relationship, like, nobody cares about the forks, like.
I think you're also signaling when you do that.
Yes, probably. Right, I'm trying to signal that I'm smarter, that I'm more rational than everyone, and all that stuff. Yeah,
exactly.
Like I'm doing that right now by giving you this story. Like, yeah,
like giving the example. Exactly. Yeah. So it's sort of like, oh,
yeah, signaling is inescapable. Like,
it is. We're social animals.
But that said, I still think this is a value. Like, I mean, value in the sense of like, if people would actually adopt my advice, I think the world would be a better place. In the same way that me having adopted, you know, Scott Alexander or Les Wrong's advice makes my life better, and I believe it generalizes, right? Like if everyone in the world were more rational, it would be better. So that's what I mean by value. Like empirically, nobody takes advice, like you say, like almost nobody, right?
Right.
So when you say like, is there value? It's like, well, you know, nobody's actually going to follow your advice, so no, the value is zero. But what I meant in a more philosophical, you know, it'd be nice if everybody actually listened to this, you know.
Right. But there's also the sort of thing of like, okay, so you're trying to signal with the advice that you give.
Yeah.
So you will do a better job of signaling if your advice is good, right? So you should both think that your advice is good, and ideally your advice actually should be good. It should have some value. You actually get... I've lost your sound again. I know you can hear me, but like you could be interrupting everything I'm saying and it wouldn't matter because I can't hear you. This is lame.
I'm trying to tell Steph to just finish her thought.
Go ahead and finish your sentence, I guess, before we disconnect. So I think that yes, your advice is going to be quote unquote better. It's going to be of more value if it also happens to be accurate, right? Like if your advice is why don't you just kill everyone and give yourself points in a gamification system, like that's not gonna be a very good signal for very long. It might be interesting at first, but then people are going to be like, oh, wow, that advice is really, really terrible. So in some senses, yes, your advice, if it gives you status, is by definition sort of good advice, or at least interesting advice. Is there value in putting out true, accurate information? I mean, we're humans. That's one of the things we do want to put out. Like we do find value in that. It does give us status. Is it valuable in the sense that anyone actually uses it? I don't know.
So we hang up and recall now?
Sure, we can hang up and recall now.
Hello?
What do you think the problem is?
Sorry? What was that?
The problem is?
All I heard you say is the problem is.
What do you think the problem is with the sound?
Oh, I don't know. There's a small chance it's something specific to that game. I think the most probable thing is that it's a Discord issue, like a temporary Discord issue, and then like tomorrow it'll be fixed or whatever. but
Gotcha.
you know, there's a whole bunch, like there's a probability cloud among all possible causal explanations, non-zero chance there's something weird about that game. So I'm thinking, we don't have that much time left. Let me just load the
Yeah.
cat game, and then we'll do that for a little bit, and then we can end stream, I guess. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, I'm tired anyway. So. Yes, cast cats.
Yeah.
Oh, right, we're finding
Differences in the
differences.
cats. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
wanna
if the
find some
audio problem
differences.
happens again in this game, we know it's not game specific,
Right.
or unlikely. Like there's a tiny chance, you know, it happens in 2 games and nothing else. But
Right. Only French games.
I tried playing this on a solo stream, like when you weren't here, and I was like, I realized, I can't find anything. I need Steph here.
Oh no! There's something on top of the computer that isn't on the other computer.
On top of the
The
computer?
back of the chair. Yeah.
Oh, the back of the chair. Okay.
Yeah, the back of the chair is different. You see the top of, like, literally the top of the screen.
Oh, the screen. Okay. Because I was
Yeah.
like, there's a stereotypical joke, right, which is that people think the screen is the computer.
Right.
And so when you said I thought I'm like, I don't even see the computer. Like, where is the computer on the screen?
Right.
Like,
Oh man, look at his awesome glasses. He's got studs on one of his arms.
look at the crowd of cats. They don't seem that into it. Like they're like bored.
They don't, yeah. They're like, there's more lightning on one side than the other. There's 3 lights on one side and not on the other.
Yeah, see, this is going way faster. Me, I'm staring at this picture I'm like, I can't find any difference. What the heck? Well, in one of them he's an architect, and the other one he's disappointing his parents by becoming an artist.
His eyes are different colors. The thing on the right is a different building. Those candlesticks are different.
Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like I'm doing, quote unquote, a good deed, a good thing by putting what I believe to be accurate advice, good advice, and not only good and accurate, but also underrepresented, right? I don't think people give the advice that I give. Like if it was like, you know, if there's good advice, but somebody's already posted it, then you know, me posting it again, not that valuable. The horizontal pillar under the table is different. Like it was smooth on one side and bumpy on the other side. Like ornamented, I guess, on the other side.
Absolutely believe you. He's got a buckle on the cape around his neck.
Oh, yeah. No city here. That's blurred out in the other one.
Oh yeah. The wheels are bigger on the
Also this cloud
training
loop.
wheel. Yeah, there's an extra contrail. Oh no, we lost the sound again.
Oh, you can't hear me?
I can't hear you at all, but the number is different. His hat is blue in one and black in the other. The trunk, the airfoil, is turquoise in one, not the other. Oh yeah, that does look different. He also doesn't look that excited about the fact that he's driving a car, which is a bummer. There's little red dots inside the car. Yeah. Oh, and the mirror is missing. Yeah.
One last hang up and recall.
Well, I guess that's what we had time for today. Discord is telling us.
I don't know if Steph saw my
Yeah.
message where I told them one last.
Oh,
hang
you
up
want to
and
do
recall.
one last hang up and recall?
Hello? Are you able to hear me? I don't know if Steph can hear me.
I can hear you.
Oh,
You can't
okay.
hear me?
Now I can hear you.
Oh, now you can hear me. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I guess it is something with Discord. It's not with the games. So I guess we'll end stream here.
Right.
So the last thing was just so
All
we can
right.
do our goodbyes. All right, see
Yeah,
ya, Steph.
exactly.
Thanks for streaming. I'll see you next week.
Yeah. Have a good night.
You
Bye.
too, bye. And then we'll do the interact. Where is it? Interact. Play. So thank you everyone for tuning in. That was Labyban mostly, and then a little bit of cats at the end with Stephanie. My regular schedule, top left part of the screen, every Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Pacific. That's about 2 hours ago in your time zone. We got the Steph Thursday stream where I play puzzle games, technology games, that sort of stuff with my co-host Stephanie. Every Saturday, 6 p.m. That's about 3.5 hours ago in your time zone. We got the solo Saturday stream where we play random games from my review queue. We got the Discord. Join the Discord for updates to the schedule and any announcements for off-schedule streams. Let's see, where's my calendar? Tomorrow, today was Thursday, so tomorrow Friday, we are playing Airlock Arena with Astro Rose, Zenith, and Kit Vesper. And then Saturday, we're playing Bygone Dreams. So look forward to that. And yeah, I think that's it. Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. I'll let you guys enjoy the rest of the Cat Parade while I look for something to raid.